Hey everyone. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about self-acceptance and transition and a few thoughts I've been having recently, especially today for some reason. I just wanted to talk about. It's not going to be super organized, but I just want to get my thoughts down and to get other people's opinions on this if you have them. I really love hearing your comments, so please keep them coming, and I always answer emails or messages sent to me, so if you guys have any direct questions or personal questions that you don't want to just talk about in the comments, you can always email me. So today I want to talk about the difference between becoming a woman and becoming yourself, which I think there's a distinction here. A lot of trans people, and me included, began their transitions with the intent of starting male, becoming female. Um, and and you see this, I think, especially in the beginning, you see a lot of like caricaturization of presentation. So maybe becoming hyper feminine initially, or dressing in a hyper feminine way, kind of going too far in the opposite direction, kind of in an effort to abandon maleness. Um, I think that this is really something that a lot of trans people should consider as they're transitioning, whether or not they are just trying to go from male to female, or whether they're trying to go from what their gender presentation is currently to what the gender presentation that would make them most comfortable and would be most authentic for them really is. So I guess their interpretation of who they really are versus society's interpretation of what they should be as a female. This is something that I've struggled with a lot, and it's a difficult thing, I think, and it leads to a lot of second guessing as you're transitioning. So for me, it's brought up a couple questions, things like, out of my personality traits or mannerisms or the way I behave that I consider to be masculine or that I consider to be a part of who I was in the past, which of them were really me? And that's a difficult question to answer, and I think a lot of trans people struggle with that question. And also they struggle with trying to decide which aspects of their, I guess, masculine former life they can keep, and which they should try and abandon or eliminate entirely. Um, for me, I don't really think that's the right way to look at transitioning. Your goal, from my perspective, and my goal isn't to just become a quintessential woman or a feminine caricature. It's to become a more authentic me, which is female in body for me, but not necessarily entirely the stereotype of femininity in behavior or mannerisms or personality traits. There's not ever going to be any denying that I existed as a male within this world. I was socialized male for the first 27 years of my life. There are a lot of inherently masculine aspects to who I am that really aren't going to change, or could change, I suppose, with extreme effort, but at what cost and to what benefit? I guess my argument is that there are a lot of things about me that maybe are somewhat masculine that I don't want to eliminate, but also that don't run counter to my identity as a woman. So the other side of this, the other side of the coin is, which feminine traits do I want to adopt, or which feminine traits are inherent to me already? Which ones do I want to play up? So am I mimicking femininity in certain ways just because I think that's maybe how it should be done, or am I being more authentic? Am I giving into an aspect of myself that maybe I had never let out before? So that's the kind of question I ask myself often, because I did a whole lot of repressing anything that I thought could be construed as feminine in my behavior or in my mannerisms before I came out. And at this point, it's sort of kind of like trying to peel away the repression in some ways and identify which aspects of my inner femininity are innate that I was covering up, and which are maybe just me attempting to fit some internalized idea of what women should be like or behave like or whatever. It's entirely confusing, and I suppose this post doesn't make a ton of sense, but it's just something that's been going on in my head. I think it's an important thing to realize that the goal of transition isn't to go from male to female, it's to go towards authenticity, whatever that means. Even if that means you don't end up maybe as feminine as you thought you would initially, or as feminine as the world expects you to be. Your goal should just be to become closer to who you are naturally. And as you transition, to try and discover what that is. Which aspects of your true self were you repressing or covering up or modifying? And how can you really bring out that authentic self? So that's it for today. I'll do another one soon.